Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are diving into something absolutely fascinating. We're breaking down a massive, and I mean massive, technological and financial shift that's currently shaking up the global lottery industry. We're going to be looking at a completely new framework that really aims to transform how lotteries operate, how they're secured, and, maybe most importantly for you, how the revenue is actually generated and shared. Essentially, it's a dual-system ecosystem designed to bridge the traditional government-mandated lotteries of today with a highly advanced quantum-secured digital future.
Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. We'll be covering 1. The global opportunity. 2. System 1, Play Lotto Global. 3. System 2, PWE Lotto. 4. Satellites and AI tech. 5. The affiliate revenue model. And finally, 6. Financial projections. Starting right off with Part 1, the global lottery opportunity, a market ready for disruption. To really grasp why this entire dual-system ecosystem is even created, you have to look at the sheer scale of the legacy market. The global lottery industry is absolutely huge. We're talking around $350 billion. But here's the crazy part. From our sources, less than 10% of this market is currently accessible online. No way, right? That means this enormous multi-billion-dollar industry is literally stuck relying on old-school, analog infrastructure.
And this brilliantly illustrates that friction. You've got a legacy model that's 95% offline, relying on cash, physical storefronts, and making people physically stand in line just to buy a paper ticket. On the flip side, just look at the global model potential. You have 5.8 billion smartphone users worldwide, app-based connectivity, and 24/7 access. The ecosystem we're unpacking today is custom-built to seamlessly connect that clunky offline market to those billions of digital users.
That brings us to Part 2. System 1, Play Lotto Global, the immediate digital bridge. So System 1 is Play Lotto Global, or just PLG, and this has already been formulated internationally. In fact, it is the world's first digital online purchasing platform of its kind, sitting right at playlottoglobal.com/app. According to the sources, it gives users access to 18 different international lotteries. And these aren't just random games, they are fully qualified government-mandated lotteries, so all the compliance is already baked right in. It requires 0 physical storefronts, plus it incredibly opens up direct access to major US jackpots, like the Powerball and Mega Millions, to a completely international audience.
The user journey here is just totally frictionless. There's absolutely no more walking down to the storefront and waiting in line. A potential buyer literally just sees a QR code embedded in a logo, scans it with their smartphone, downloads the app, and purchases their ticket online. The whole shebang takes seconds. And as we'll see in a bit, most ticket buyers are going to spend an average of $10 to $50 per purchase through this exact mechanism.
Moving on to Part 3, System 2, PWE Lotto, the quantum-secured future.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the paradigm shift it represents. While System 1 is our bridge to traditional lotteries, System 2 is PWE Lotto. Now, this will also be sold entirely via digital online channels, but it's protected by proprietary quantum transceiver technology. The ecosystem claims this quantum connectivity acts as an ultimate, futuristic shield to protect against any cybercrime in the future, ensuring every transaction is completely secure and the draws are provably fair and tamper-proof. But that brings up a really massive question, right? If PLG relies on those existing government lotteries, how exactly is this entirely new PWE Lotto actually funded and backed?
Well, the ecosystem claims that PWE Lotto is backed by roughly $53 billion in independently verified physical assets. We're talking massive, real-world reserves of oil, gold, and silver. According to the sources, these minerals have already been found, drilled, and scanned by their incredibly advanced proprietary satellite nucleus magnetic resonance scanner satellite. So it's a completely digital lottery, but anchored by billions in tangible, real-world physical commodities.
Okay, Part 4, the invisible engine, satellites and AI technology. To actually deploy a global ecosystem at this kind of scale, you need infrastructure that goes way beyond just standard internet advertising. The company outlines the deployment of what they call 1 tera satellites. They state these have a lifespan 3 to 4 times longer than standard commercial options out there. They feature onboard quantum power systems and, of course, those nucleus magnetic resonance scanners for the mineral mapping we just talked about. They also boast global signaling capabilities, meaning theoretically they can broadcast the PLG logo directly to smartphone screens anywhere in the world. It is a wildly ambitious technological leap for sure.
And working right in tandem with those satellites is the PWE Claw AI network. The sources describe an initial deployment of 10,000 autonomous AI agents that are actively out there communicating with 4 million existing agents across digital networks. This AI workforce operates 24/7, 365 days a year. I mean, they require no sleep and absolutely no salary. Their main job? Autonomously recruiting new buyers and trading crypto, essentially building the customer base for these lotteries entirely in the background without needing any manual human outreach.
Which brings us nicely to Part 5, the payoff, the affiliate revenue model.
So the crucial point here is how this automated infrastructure ties into the PWE fund. This fund enables all PWE subscribers to actually enjoy receiving compensation for referring future subscribers into the ecosystem for both of those Lotto systems. And unlike legacy multi-level marketing where you're constantly hosting meetings or buying inventory, this is completely different. Every ticket purchase enables affiliates to receive a 10% commission on the first tier. Those are your direct referrals. Then you receive a 5% commission on the second tier. Finally, the remaining allocated funds are simply divided among all active affiliates based on the remaining referrals joining. It's totally seamless. And to put that into perspective and ground it in reality, the data suggests that most ticket buyers are going to buy at an average of $10 to $50 per purchase online. When you apply those 10%, 5% tier commissions to that kind of recurring spend, spread across a globally connected network, well, that passive compensation potential becomes very, very tangible.
Let's move to Part 6, Scaling and Financial Projections, Visualizing the Impact. Let's actually see how this builds using a specific mathematical projection outlined in the sources as Scenario E. If the ecosystem captures just 10 million active customers, which, remember, is just a tiny fraction of the 5.8 billion smartphone users globally, and they spend just $10 a month, that generates $100 million in gross revenue every single month. Because this is a purely digital play with basically zero physical infrastructure to maintain or expand, the fixed costs remain incredibly low, and that creates the massive recurring margins needed to fuel the affiliate payouts we just looked at.
So, we've seen how System 1 bridges the current market and how System 2 leverages quantum tech and billion-dollar physical assets for the future. With this global lottery transition poised to unlock roughly $100 billion in new online sales, it leaves us with one ultimate question. As this legacy industry digitizes, who is actually going to capture all that value? Will it be the traditional, old-school institutions, or will it be a global network of everyday affiliates powered by advanced AI? Definitely something to think about. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.